guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Jimmy.
I'm Kyle.
And today we are playing Necrons versus Tyranids. So before we do, please hit that subscribe button down below. We very much appreciate it. And as you can see in my hand, we have the new Warzone Nephilim book. So the Necrons have been buffed. The Nids have been nerfed. Shame Necrons didn't begin with a B, because then B for buffed and Nids for nerfed, but there you are, what can you do? So like we said guys, hit that subscribe button and we will see them armies. Right guys, here is my 2,000 points of Necrons. I'm going for the Sakmenis Dynasty today, which gives all my guys objectives secured and a few other buffs as well. And thanks to the new changes in the balance data sheet, I can now benefit from Eternal Guardian for the whole game, both directives. So that is the +1, I believe, to your cover save if you do not move, or your armor save if you do not move. And the other one is allows you to Overwatch on a 5-up with the Hold Steady ability. So you might see that a couple of times, especially with the Nids that are on display today. But enough rambling, let's go over to my HQ. He only has the Void Scythe now. No Warlord trait, no relics, because we are in Nephilim and we only have 6 CP. This CP is very precious, so he is Bobby Basic for today. Next over in my HQ slots, I have a Warlord as well. And now moving over to my troops, I have a unit of 10 Necron Warriors with Gorse Flayers. Same again. A 5-man unit of Immortals with Tesla Carbine. And we move over to a unit of 10 with Gorse Blasters. Moving over to my elites, I have a Satan Shard of the Nightbringer with Cosmic Fire and his Gaze of Death. And then I've got a big unit of Skorpek Destroyers, and then a Diddy unit of Skorpek Destroyers. Then in my heavy support, we move over to 4 Destroyers, 4 Necron Destroyers, and 2 Doomsday Arcs. And in my fast attack, I have Tomb Blades, 3 with Gorse Blasters and 2 with Particle Beamers. My apologies. Moving over to my secondaries today, I have gone for Ancient Machineries, the Necron-specific one. Bring it down and no prisoners. That is everything, guys. Let's move over to them Tyranids.
Welcome to the Tyranids Hive Fleet Behemoth today. I thought I'd mix it up a little bit because everyone uses Leviathan. I thought I'd go sort of combat related. Purely for the fact we don't really have zone throps and them psychic sort of units yet, so I thought we'll play to my strengths and go with combat. So they basically get +1 to the strength if they charge, get charge, etc, etc. So they, like the Warriors for argument's sake, will be strength 8 on the charge, etc, which is nice because I really need to get into combat and stop them Necron guns blasting. The adaptive add-on is reroll charges. I think it's very fitting for the sort of theme of the army. I have burnt 1 CP for a Warlord trait and a Relic, which is on the Trygon Prime. The Relic is the Passenger. I have to get Adrenal Glands, so I've upgraded him with that as well. But basically it gives him +2 to his advancing and +2 to his charging. So he basically gets 2 to the charge and he gets to reroll as well. So you can imagine he's probably going to get into combat quite comfortably. The second HQ is the Swarmlord. Basically that is that. We'll go back to the Trygon Prime because he has the Warlord trait. Heightened senses, which basically gets him to reroll hits in combat. Going over to my troop, I have a 23 Gaunt unit, a 20 Gaunt unit, and a 10 Gaunt unit. And rounding off is 5 Warriors, 1 with Venom Cannon, just for that synaptic goodness. I also have a little Lictor in there, just to basically do some shenanigans. And to be fair, looking at his profile, he's not great at doing Natman data, obviously back in the good old days, but he is pretty strong. On the charge, he's strength 8, so he'll hopefully do the business. Going over to the big gribblies now, I have a Tyrannofex, I have an Exocrine, I have Exocrine, I have a Horispex, and I have a Scythed Hierodule, this good chunky boy from Forge World. I have upgraded certain things with like adaptive physiologies and stuff like that. Will be in the description below, because off the top of my head, I can't remember which ones I've given it, but I'm pretty sure he has the 4-up invuln just so he survives a little bit more. That's the list. Surprisingly, quite small comparison to Jimmy's Necrons. So we shall see what they do. In the secondaries, I have gone for Assassination, Behind Enemy Lines, and No Prisoners. No Prisoners with Necron is an easy one to do. Am I going to max them all out? Probably not, but I'll hopefully score pretty solid in all them areas. Fingers crossed. I thought with regards to obviously the new sort of styling of the game, playing with some easy to remember secondaries, probably going to benefit me since it's the first time I'm using 9th edition NIDs and they've got a lot of stuff going on right now. So that's the NIDs. The Necrons have been shown. We'll be back in the end of the deployment. See you guys there. The Legions have amassed. Look at the scary blob of Necrons there. That's absolutely terrifying. Going over here, not so much, but there is a nasty Doomsday Arc there. Coming over to the Tyranids, a line of big gribblies along here. The deployment is done. Just for some housekeeping. Normally we do this as -1 to hit shooting through, but because of this gigantic piece of terrain with area terrain, we are deeming this as well. So anything within that, take away that little thing. We'll just get rid of that. There we go. There we go. Oh, good little boy. So anything in the middle is classed as in the terrain. So +1 to the armor saves and all that good stuff. But then warriors can't shoot through, etc., etc. And going with all the big stuff as well. On my front, there is the biggest squad of Gaunts, the Lictor and the Trygon Prime are all in Deep Strike. I burnt 1 CP for Subterranean Assault, which is basically the old edition where he bursts through and these come with it. So that's kind of the plan with them. They'll come up at a later date depending on what happens. On top of that, with people that are familiar with the Necron stuff, their protocols, it's completely changing the wording. So in a sense, you get rid of the auras from the HQs, which is good stuff. Me and Jimmy have been saying this for, well, the day dawn of this Necron Codex, saying it's just seems a bit silly that. So they all get it because they can, and basically everything's pretty much core because GW want to kind of buff them up. So my will be done, can be put on tanks and other bits and bats, which is it's just what it needs. I think it's going to be really, really good. So on top of that, the protocols keep like adding on, stacking in a sense. So Jimmy will ultimately get a lot more buffs, and as you can see from this massive blob, a lot more stuff in the same process. So yeah, we have double checked to make sure that the points are as right as we possibly can. So hopefully when this goes live, it's still current. So yeah, that is that. We'll get the dice and we'll be back in that all important who goes first. Hello.
Sorry, there was an echo there. Dice in hand, Necrons amassed. For those who have seen the short, you kind of know how big the army is, and it looks glorious. So, are you ready? Are you ready for this? Not ready for this?
Not really, no. But yeah, let's do it. You go first, good sir.
I don't know if I want first turn or for you to have first turn.
Well, you...
No! I have first turn! I don't know if that's good or bad. So, Necron's movement. Well, command phase first. You put Might Will Be Done on this big old beastie here. And then, as you can see, I've got my notes. So, turn 1, I'll be doing this directive. Turn 2, this one. Turn 3, that one. Turn 4, that one. And turn 5, that one. And I've just got little notes so I remember which is which. For this one, I was in the Sudden Storm, so I got an extra inch to my movement. And with everything being core as well, this guy gave everybody within 6 inches an extra inch movements. These guys have moved up. 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 Unfortunately, these guys were out of range, but they still moved up. They still moved up because of the extra inch. So, these guys have moved over here, and then at the end of their movement, they are within 3 inches of that objective. They have done Ancient Machineries, which is technically complete at the end of my turn. There's going to be no way of denying. Yep, so that is 4 points off the bat.
Yeah, just saying off camera, it's quite good because obviously you've got Gypsy secured, core across the board,
Yeah.
and that's it would be till next turn, wouldn't it? Till your next command phase.
Yeah.
I have a chance of destroying you, but because you core and you are obsec, you pretty much it's instant. It's kind of like retrieve data back in the good old days.
Yeah.
You just bomb in, can't do anything about it. But obviously objective, so it will get harder for you. But it's good, quite a nice little combo. Quite like it. The obsec is really going to probably benefit you in this game.
So, with that being said, let's move over to my psychic phase. And now with the psychic phase done, we can move over to the shooting phase.
Pot shots from the front rank of the Immortals, and that one destroyer there could only really get into here, managing to kill one warrior. So that's something, I guess. Now over to the big guns. We're starting with the My Will Be Done one.
Yep, so this one here, going into this one here. Let me come back, I just want to double check my stratagems. So we're starting with this one, there is no stratagems that I can do to boost it. So here we go, going into
D6 shots.
Come on, feel the noise. I will burn a CP.
Oh, he's doing it.
I'm going to have to.
That's not bad.
That's more like it. It's 5 shots. Hitting on 2s. And I still roll 2 1s. Damn it.
Oh no.
Cool. And then I think I'll be winning on 3s.
Yeah, a little bit.
And I still miss one. So 2 at -5.
4 up in runs because it has Dermic Symbiosis on it. And I fail 1.
So 1 goes through. 4, 5 damage.
Okay, 5 damage. Down. Ouchie, ouch. Right, after that, this guy is going to shoot his cannon into the Tyranids. But hitting on 3s this time, so see how many shots he gets. D6 again. Okay, for 1. He hits. 3 to wounds.
Yep. Wounds goes straight through your hammer.
What's the AP?
-5.
Yeah, I've got one up save now.
For 2 damage.
2 damage, so he's down to 15 wounds. I'll let Jim have a think and see if there's any more shots, and then we'll come back, no doubt, in his recap.
So that is the end of my turn 1. Ancient Machineries did go off in this top corner. As for Bring It Down, no prisoners, nothing now, because the Whiff machines are well and truly in their whiffage. Yeah, what can we say? What can we do? Unfortunately, nothing. Currently, it's 4 points to the Necrons, and the Tyranids are about to go nommy nommy nom.
Command and movement for the Tyranids, El Completioed. So I have put the Swarmlord's double obsec onto the Warriors on this objective 4, and he's also put his reroll hits on these guys as well because he's the only really thing that can shoot and is core. Over here, everything's just, he's moved just half his range so he can still shoot when they get all these benefits. These guys have just mobbed over objective number 5. The side Hydrojewel has moved normally purely so I can shoot his gun because it's a heavy. And coming over here, a bit of a cluster of a monster mash. The Tranifex has advanced, having a 4 on, and the Horror Specs did as well, because of this. I can't shoot through, so I might as well move and get into range for turn 2. The Swarmlord has moved around this side just for the time being. More to keep himself safe and slice and dice this way. Psychic powers, he has Onslaught and the Behemoth psychic power, which is called, apologies for waiting, I'm going to have to do something Onslaught. I won't be able to find it now. It is called Unstoppable Onslaught. So 2 Onslaught basically powers. That basically means when I get into combat, it's +1 to wound, and then Onslaught is advancing after charging as well. So I will start with Onslaught onto the horror specs, needing a 6. Getting a 7, you can't deny, good sir, can you? So the horror specs can advance this turn, and I'm going to put Unstoppable Onslaught onto this guy here, needing a 7. Getting an 11. So that is good stuff. So he's +1 to wound. I'm not sure he totally needs it, but it's nice nevertheless. So I'll pass it over to Jimmy and we'll get on to that shooting phase.
Warriors now, the Venom cannon firing into this big blob here. So 3 shots, sir.
Hitting on freeze, re-rolling. It's cocked. Re-roll that now because it's natural. Hey, still 1, that's what I get. Freeze to wound. Just 1 AP -3, so
cool. Takes a wound, 2 damage, 1 on 1 wound remaining. Anything else, good sir?
Yeah, let me have a little thinky and I'll be right back. X-Crit next. I rolled its D3 +6 shots off camera. I managed to get 8, so I'm just going to roll them. I burnt 1 CP for Observer Organism, which means no cover, but it's irrelevant because I'm out of it, and 6 to Explode. Jimmy has burnt a CP for Whirling Onslaught.
Yes.
So it's -1 to wound because they're doing this. So it's freeze and then followed by 4s. 4s are insta-kill though because it's flat 3 damage, AB 4. So that's something. Well,
cool.
Reanimation, obviously. Okay, so I get 3 extra hits and I fail 1. So I get another dice. Forced to kill. So that is 3 squad wiped, 7 dead.
Side Hyrule now firing his flamers into these destroyers. 3d6 shots. For 10.
Yeah, I won't, but yeah, I'll keep it.
So 3s to wound, good sir.
Oh, that's not good.
That might be 5.
Just 4 5-up armor saves, please.
4 5-ups, baby. Yeah. Well, that is 1 dead, 2 dead technically, because it's damage 2, isn't it?
No, 1. So I only kill 1.
Oh, damage 1?
Yeah.
Oh dear, I thought it was damage 2 for some reason. Okay, so killed 1, and then let's see if he reanimates. No, he does not. So 1 is slain, and 1 is on 1 wound.
Charge phase now. Just to let you guys know, the Swarmlord and the Horror Specs are going to charge into the Necron Warriors, both needing a 10, just because of the angling. But I will see how I can jiggle around and make sure I can obviously get in comfortably. And then this guy is going to charge into the remaining unit of Scorpic Warriors, needing a 9 or re-rollable due to the trait from the Hive Fleet.
Starting now, needing a 9 into these geezers here.
Nope, get to re-roll because of my... just because I can.
Just because you can. Yep, you are in.
Right, and then I'll do Horror Specs first, just in case I can't squeeze them all in, you know, regarding distance and stuff. Definitely not. Re-roll that. Nope. Yeah, Swarmlord it is then.
Yes.
He's hungry for war. Right, I'll move them all in and we'll see what I can do.
Starting here with the Scythed Hierodule going to here. 6 attacks, hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s.
And I'm going to burn 1 CP for Ferocious Appetite, which re-rolling the wounds. It's 2s anyway, but I just want to make sure.
I want all these to be 2s now.
Well,
okay,
you've got...
there's a couple of 2s, that's alright. And then I want these to be 2s as well. No, okay. And now I want all these to be 1s. Please be 1s. They were not 1s. Damn it. Okay, so these... If I don't roll any 6s, they're dead. The unit is white. And finally, the slaughter that's going to go on here. So, just roll your dice. 9 attacks, hitting on 2s.
Right, so drop 2.
Oh, dear. Killing on 2s.
Yeah. So that is 7 dead.
7
well,
dead.
For now.
And then you don't get Prehensile tail anymore. So 7, needing 5s. To be fair, bring back 3, that's okay. And
No. Reroll 1.
Oh, yeah, warrior. Hey, bring back 5.
Killed
3. Lovely jubbly.
So, the Destroyers attack back and the troop, the Necron Warriors, managing to do nothing on either of them too. So, my recap. I am very happy with that. 37 wounds I bagged, so I get 3 points and no prisoners, and well and truly in Jimmy's face with this guy. But Satan is going to slice and dice. I have no doubt about that. So we'll see what he can do on that. Behind enemy lines, not going to happen. But I have a lot of stuff being able to deep strike in, so I'm not worried as of yet. And assassination is ongoing, but if I can do as much damage as I did the first turn, in the second, I will be in a very happy place indeed. But Jimmy is going to make sure these nids are going to pay. So, let's go on to Necrons, turn 2.
So, bunching up was probably a bad idea. We will find out. So, as you can see, I have built a little wall of misters, and then got these geezers around here, brought this guy around so that he's within rapid fire of this for the Ghost Flayers. Ain't going to do much, but it might plink a wound. These guys have my will be done on from the command phase. That's pretty much about it. These guys have fled. Satan has moved around. That guy is now aiming for the Swarmlord, so we will see. Oh, and these guys have jetted it round to shoot some gaunts. Right then, let's crack on. Ooh, let me just move this dice. And we'll move over to the Satan powers on the Scythed Hierodule.
Satan powers now. Gaze of Death.
Gaze of Death. So roll 3d6. Any 4-ups, I get to roll mortal wounds. So 2 mortal wounds there. So 2d3s. For 3 wounds.
Okay, so he's down to 10 wounds now.
And then we do Cosmic Fire. So on a 4+, it suffers another D3 mortals, which is a 6.
Very good.
D3 for a 1.
So he's down to 9.
And then I'm going to burn 1 CP for Dimensional Destabilization.
Hey! I was worried you weren't going to get that.
Roll a D6 and I get that power. So I get 4. So we'll look at what 4 is. We'll be back in a moment. And it is Cosmic Fire again. So here we go. D on a 4-up. No. So what a waste of a CP.
But you are on 6. And you keep getting them. So why not? Worth a shot. So he's down to 9. Oh dear. Ideally want his wounds to be as high as possible for it gets sliced into sushi. Coming over to this side, the Tomb Blades are seeking vengeance from their Destroyer brothers being splatted. They're going to shoot all their guns into the gaunts. That's correct, isn't it? So, yeah, we'll see how this goes. So, remember, 6 is to wound.
6 is to wound or an additional AP.
Cool. So
I'll do it here. So, messed with all these.
Is it freeze to hit?
Freeze to hit, yeah. Cool. And then 1, a -3, and then Unfortunately, I think they're strength 5, so them two do not wound. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dead.
6 dead, and then
6 dead, and then the particle casters that are in the unit hitting on 3s. Ooh, not as good.
no, and elusive 2s.
And then 6s here are -1. So 1 at -1, and then
Strength 6.
strength 6.
So yeah, I'll go. So 5 at 5s, 5 5s and 1 at 6. That's right.
Yep.
Right, so I'll start with 5s. Managing to save 2, so 3 are dead on top of that, and then that needed a 6, so there's no dead. So 4 dead on top of
6.
So
10
10.
in total.
I think you've just sliced at about half. I think there's 21 in that squad, so that is jolly good. So we'll remove them and move on to the next.
Do you want to move
victims.
closest?
I want to make sure I'm on that objective, so
remove from the back.
So we're pretty much into the shooting phase from the Necrons, managing to take Tyranids off with pot shots around here with all his Gorse, Goodness and Tesla behind this red building. Next up we have the cannons. This guy is hitting at full whack. This guy has moved, so he'll be shooting at is less devastating but still scary. Where are we going first?
Let me just quickly fire his... I'll finish with this one, actually.
Yeah,
because I've already shot it.
So-
So the Ghost Flares went into there, did nothing. Managed to take 2 wounds off of him with a whole bunch of shooting.
D6. Not. I don't know what damage it is, but go for it. It's the weaker one, isn't it?
So 6. Oh yeah, good.
Because you've
point, 'cause I've
moved. Yeah, so I think it's strength 8 or something. So it'll be 3s to hit.
Yep.
Okay.
And then be forced to wound then.
Very good.
So he'll stick you on your invuln, definitely.
3, yeah.
Yep.
Failing 1, just double check the damage, good sir, and possibly might be D3.
I think it is. I'll roll it. So it'll be
2.
possibly 2.
I'll let you have a look. The array shot managing to take another wound, clinking him down to 8, which, oh dearie me. So, big scary cannon, how many shots, good sir?
6.
It is a 6. Just what you need. Right, 3s to hit.
So I need 3s. Oh, do I re-roll one of these? Give myself a better chance. Getting on 3s. Yes, I will. So I've got the CP there. Missed anyway. Shouldn't have done it. And then 3s. See, that's where I should have done it. 3 at minus ridiculous. So
Invulns.
3 invulns. Please fail 2 of these.
I will burn CP.
Yep.
Yep, he is absolutely fine. So burn 1 CP for me and 1 for Mr. Jimmy. Charge phase now. Jimmy, would you like to talk through the charging?
So, going to start with these guys into... They're moving over here. To stop his dirty little Overwatch, I'm going to throw... How is a warrior in? Do you know what? I think that... don't matter. These guys are going to charge first, and these 2 are going to go in.
Yep.
And I think that's about it.
Cool. So we'll start over at Tomb Blades because I will, as we said, interrupt with Flaming Goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, only just.
Yeah, I'm going to say.
And then we'll just quickly roll it. So this one, they're going in on a 7. The Satan.
Can't really fail.
Yep. And
It's
then the Lord probably needing about 4 and getting a 7.
Yeah, cool. Right, so I'll do the Overwatch off camera, see what damage I can do, and then we'll move all this goodness into combat. Overwatch happened, killing 3 immortals, adding to my no prisoner tally, and then he resurrected 2, I do believe. So 3 died in the flames. Now Satan is going to do the business and cleave this Hyrule. So, would you like to roll over here, sir?
Yes, sir. 6 attacks hitting on 2s. Apologies for the yapping mutt outside. Needing 3s to go straight through your armor. Oh dear.
Yeah.
And then D6 damage.
Yep.
Right, that's
And yeah.
Are you going to automatically death throw, sir? Pretty sure you can.
Okay, now we've got an owl.
What? Why isn't... No, or is that an owl?
After looking at the book, yeah, there's nothing I'm really wanting to do because I have 2 CP, so I'm going to see if I death throws on a 6. Nah, he doesn't. So the Hydule is no more. Now, we did the Tomb Blades off camera. They basically bounced off the Gaunts, and the Gaunts are retaliating back. Just to mention in this turn, battle round, sorry, I did the Synaptic Imperative of the Hive, not the Hive Tyrant, the Warriors, sorry, which is exploding 6s. So, on top of that, they have Toxin Sacs, so any 6s I would have got is automatically wounding. So Jimmy has, I think, 13 or 15?
15 dice, I think.
15 armor saves of AP -1, so...
So, 4s, so 1 guy alive, dead, hang on. Yep, there's 1 guy, 1 wound, fuck's sake. Yep, dead.
So 2 dead.
Yep, and then 1 on 1 wound. Dead. 1 on 1 wound. Dead. 1 on 1 wound. What is it?
1.
Dead!
They're all dead.
Has died to a unit of Hormagaunts.
Oh dear.
Well, what a mad turn. I killed a grand total of 11 models and I lost 8. But wounds-wise, I lost a whole lot more. At least... he is down to 8 wounds, I suppose. For a moment there, I thought he was lower. I scored 8 for the primary, and I scored 3 for Bring It Down. Didn't score anything on Ancient Machineries, and no prisoners was a 1. With that being said, let's move over to Tyranids, turn 2.
And we come back at the end of the movement. A lot has happened, a lot has moved, and a lot has arisen from the earth. A bit like a Necron, but not, because they've slept for less time. These guys are bombed up, 9-inch away from these potential threats. The Lictor is eyeing up the barrel of this Doomsday Cannon, 9-inch away again. Coming over here, the Tranifex and the Swarmlord have... well, Swarmlord's not been moved, so I'm just going to just do that, so it's guaranteed to really get in. I burnt 1 CP for Rapid Regeneration to bag him another 2 wounds, so he's on 10. And over here, Endless Swarm bagging me another 4 Gaunts to the cause, which, as you can see, they've moved up, eyeing up the Shard of the Satan. The X-Crane has his anchor down on this objective with his guns laying. These guys have stayed put as well. No reroll auras because nothing was around, but that is that. Obviously, just to let you know, just for clarification, Goaded to Slaughter is my Synaptic Imperative for this whole battle round, so exploding 6s in combat, and there will hopefully be quite a few of them. Yeah, I think that's everything. I'll move on to the Psychic phase. What I'll be doing, I'll do this really quickly off camera, smite into the Warriors, and I will probably put the +1 strength on to the Horror Specs if it goes off. Right, and we're back in the start of the shoot.
Big shooty boy! He's going in a big stabby boy! So, 6 shots hitting... 7 shots hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s. Oh.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Enough 6s, so I'm glad I didn't exploding ones. 3s.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, the Exocrine has failed in its duty. Also, really quickly, off camera, we shot all of these into the destroyers, doing nothing. He fired his tongue into the Lord, doing nothing.
Yeah, it's doing really well.
This is a pattern of Tyranid shooting that I very much needed. So
it's just the flame on.
Flamer. Okay, cool. Well, it's D6 in it, so just roll your dice. D6 plus 6 in it.
Of course I would.
6. You grab your 12 dice and we'll be back in a moment. 12 shots now going into here, needing 3s.
Oh dear. The bad luck continues, boys and girls, and then you need
6s.
6s because you're in cover.
Yep. That'll do. And then 5s. Yep. Then reroll 1s. Yep. 4, dead.
Luckily, I'm in a good place, so that shooting would have made me be a very sad boy. Yeah, that wasn't great at all. Managing to really do very little. But a few more points to no prisoners. I'm fairly confident I'm over the 50 mark. So I'll at least be bagging 6 points for the bonus one. So, charging, quite a lot's going on. So, Lictor's going to go into that needing a 9. The Gaunts are going into the Mortals needing a 9. The Trygon Prime is going into the Doomsday Arc needing a 7 because of his Warlord trait, but Jimmy's going to burn 1 CP for Overwatching. The Swarmlord is going to go into the Warriors. The Tyranid is going to go into the Warriors. The Horospex is going to go into the Immortals. The Gaunts are going to triple charge. Satan, Destroyers, and the Scorpet Lord. Concentrated strikes would make more sense to kill something, but if I can pin them down, even if I wipe all the Gaunts out, at least I get another turn worth of shooting, and let's hopefully say it's going to go better. So what we're going to do is going to do all this off camera because there's a lot of rolling, even the Overwatch, and we'll see what aftermath is left. Everything got in, barring these Gaunts, but because I've got behind in my lines, it's not a problem. So I started with the Gaunts because interruptions possibly would have happened with Satan slicing these through. They get 3 attacks each, we've split them through, and Jimmy has selected piles dedicated to certain things. So we'll start with Destroyers, correct?
Destroyers, because that's the handful that I have. Looking for 3s.
Pause, AP -1.
Oh, yeah, good point. So that's 1 dead, and that's 1 on to 1 wound.
Ones with 2 wounds left, so it's 2 dead completely.
No, living metal.
Of course, apologies, yeah. Right,
so then...
reanimation then.
Nope, so that is 1 dead, 1 on 1 wound. So that's there, I'll just remove him.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Yeah, he's dead! Woo!
it's falling over!
Move all these for you. Get confusing. Right, Satan.
Satan, probably going to lose 3 wounds here.
He
Loses 3 wounds.
certainly does. Okay, that's fine.
So, he is on 6 remaining. And then finally, this is on the Scorpec Lord. So -1.
4 ups.
Does he have a 2-up save, sir?
Ooh, good call. Double check. He does have a 3-up armor save, so it goes to a 4-up armor save / 4-up invuln, whatever you want to call it. It's a very good roll, sir.
Lost 1. Do you know what? Because I've got the CP. Loses 1 anyway.
Very good. So, not bad from a little squad of Gaunts.
For the sake of time and speed, we are going to do this off camera, this off camera, that one off camera, this one off camera. We will, however, do this one on camera. Would you like to do this one first? Because I don't plan on interrupting. And then we can just come straight back to your recap.
Yeah, I'll get the dice and I'll be right back.
So this combat then, 12 attacks, hitting on 3s, wounding on 4s because of my special...
Quantum shielding.
That's the one, and then I will be burning 1 CP to give myself a 4-up in 1. So, here we go, sir.
Definitely not. You can do that in combat.
I will double check.
I'll roll anyway and we'll just...
Yeah.
Because it's... So, freeze re-rolling because of my Warlord trait. Good shout, 2. Right, so drop 2, but then exploding 6s, so I get them all back. 4s. Right, I get to re-roll 1 because of the Pincer tail. Okay, so that is 6 potential 4-ups. Just double check the wording.
Yeah, I'll quickly roll them and we
'cause it
will
might
come
seem
and
fours.
adjust accordingly. So 3 will have passed, technically, and 3 have failed. So that is 6 damage so far.
Mixed bag of combat. This taking 2 wounds down. Only managed to kill, I think, 1 warrior with reanimations going on, but they are pinned in, which is what I really wanted. Obviously, Swarmlord doing what he does best and slicing through them, bagging me more no prisoners. Obviously Trygon Prime taking 6 wounds off the Doomsday Arc, but again, he can't shoot his big gun, which is the main thing. The big thing from this is Jimmy with his sweeping profiles from his Scorpet Lord and Satan wipe the whole Gaunt unit, freeing them up, which is not ideal from my point, but it gives Jimmy some breathing space to, well, let's face it, slice up an Exocrine. Yikes. But bagging 12 for the primary. No bombs are going off anytime soon. Possibly could have done it with the Gaunts, but I was more bothered about the charging. No prisoners. I think currently I'm on 8 points out of 15, but that should slowly rack up with a few more things on the board. And then, yeah, assassination is not happening. There's a trio of warriors, of HQ, down there. Scorpek is lost the wound, he did fantastic on his rolling, which is just how the game goes, and he's going to living metal it back next turn anyway. So, still all to play for. His big guns are tied up, so I'm happy. But Satan is definitely on the loose, and he's going to do some damage, I am convinced. Right, Necrons, turn 3. Coming at ya!
So, Necrons, turn 3. What do we have over here? Some movement, old boy. Because this gentleman here was within 6 inches of there, he has burst his res orb and brought one back. Managed to get 2 5s and a 6. And then for the other additional one, are all like 2 1s and a 4 or something. So one of them has come back, and he put my will be done on them as well. Satan has moved up, so he's got a 6-inch charge either way, but then I can determine where I want my Satan powers to go. And over here, I've flipped this marker because he has awoken the machine. Basically guaranteeing me 4 points because he does have objective secure, and if you have that, then you get it at the end of your turn. These guys here have still held down, which is a bit of a shame, but I've got a good chance of killing them anyway. So, with that being said, let's move over to my Satan powers. I have flipped the 5 back because on further reflection it is core or canoptic. So there we go. I thought it was just any unit, but I got it wrong. God damn it. Alright, doesn't matter. It's not the end of the world. We move on. So, coming back to them Satan powers.
Yeah, a little bit of a bummer regarding it, but we're making sure we get the right points, right rules, and all that good stuff. But anyway, he's holding it objective scored wise. So Gaze of Death into the Exocrine. Very nice.
So 3d3.
5.
5.
Fair enough. Still take it.
Cosmic Fire now. Goes off. D3 for 3. So that is 8.
Yep.
And then finally...
You're lucky. Lucky dip.
Yeah, my lucky dip. Let's see what I can get. A 1.
Ooh. So, what did we get, Jimmy?
Antimatter Meteor. So he just goes, right. He's doing a Thanos.
Yeah, basically.
So here we go. I just need to roll. If I roll a 1 or 2, nothing happens. 3, he suffers 3 mortal wounds. If I roll a 6, he gets D3 plus 3. So he gets 3 mortal wounds.
11 mortal wounds off this poor, defenceless creature. That cannon is a love spray. That sounds wrong. We're moving on. I apologise for the wording. I didn't think it through, but it was funny. So, there we go. Destroyers now using extermination protocols for 2 CP into my warriors, and I am going to burn 1 CP for reinforced hive node, which basically -1 damage. And obviously they're in cover, so they get +1 to their armor save as well, which is jolly good. Right, let's do this, good sir.
2s. All hit. 3s. All wound. No 6s do not minus an additional 1.
So what's the AP?
I believe it is 3, good sir. Let me just double check. You'll have 6 up armor saves because you are in cover.
Looking for them 6s. 2. So that is 7 go through. So if you want to roll them 1 by 1, because it's damage.
So 2 away. First one is
1 damage.
1 damage. 2 damage. Dead.
Yep.
And then
2 damage.
1 damage.
Oh yeah.
2 damage. Another one dead. Another one. 1 and then 1.
So killed 2 and 1 on 1 wound. Very good. Very nice.
So the shots from here into here with the Gorse Flayers took off a wound. We took 2 wounds off over there. Nothing happened over yonders. And then finally his shots went into here and did 1 damage. And you know about these guys over yonder. So what's going to happen here is the Satan is going to go into the Exocrine, the Overlord into the Exocrine, the Scorpet Lord into the into the Horuspex, Exocrine, there we go. I'm looking at both the back of the carapaces and not looking at the front of the heads. That's what I'm doing. Right, with that being said, is there any point rolling any of these? I don't think there is. On camera.
If it's a 10, more than all.
Yeah.
If you get like less than a 6 or something.
It's 10 on a 6. He gets it on a 6. Overlord is in.
No, you done. You need a 7, so you're going to burn CP. Yeah, sound.
Yeah. And then Destroyers. Yeah, they'll be in on a 7. And then Scorpet Lord. Yeah, it's in on 9. Lovely jubbly. We'll be back in a moment.
With everything getting in that needed to get in, Satan is going to go first. See if he can claim his second big gribbly.
Here we go.
Threes.
Ooh. You get 3 saves, good sir.
So 6s. Saved 1, so 2d6.
2d6 is not enough to kill it.
Nope, but that's a
That's
very,
fast, though.
very... Yeah, don't worry, you've got an Overlord to go. Cool. Unfortunately, I've not got enough for Acid Blood. But, hey-ho, Horuspex lives. Well, 12 damage through Satan has done fantastically. 3 wounds left, see if the Overlord can finish him.
He's on 2s. Typical. You always mess with a few. Wounding on 3s. 3. Any 6s?
Well,
double 6s. Stay alive, basically.
yeah. Nope, he is dead. So with my Synaptic Imperative, I've gone for the Trygon Prime's Thrashing Demise, which, yeah, so on a 3, he gets Death Throws, basically. No, is that cocked?
That is cocked.
He does. I will just double check what he does, and we'll be right back, guys. Scorpet Lord now into the Exocrine.
Yeah. Hit on 3s. Rerolling 1s. Okay.
It was meant to be.
And then wounding on 4s. Both wound. 6 up saves again.
Yeah, or death. I'm not going to roll it. And then on a 3 up. Yep. And I will put it onto Scorpet Lord. Just off camera we did this. He lost 2. Scorpet Lord is going to lose 3. Little bit of victory, knocking some wounds off these guys. So that is 2 big guys gone though from my side. Youch.
Combat over here now has caused 4 wounds, so we move on to this combat here because of his fight first ability. Good sir.
Yes, so Tyrgon Prime, 12 attacks, hitting a freeze, re-rolling and hits because he can.
Probably a good thing as well.
Yeah, certainly was. Wow, look at all that. That's terrible. 4 so far. Okay, that's
a little bit better.
a lot better. Right,
4s.
4s because of that shielding nonsense. Okay, and I get to reroll 1 because of the Pincer. Nope. So that is 5 ups.
5 ups. I will burn a CP to make them 4 ups. Lost to 3, made no difference. That is 6 damage, so he's down to his last 2 wounds. So wounds were lost in abundance. 3 were killed in the combat over there, and obviously, 6 died there. 2 big combats happened over here with more dead stuff. So, oh, God, it's getting close now. How many points did I score this turn? I scored 8 for the primary. I did not get ancient machineries because I messed up on Objective 5. Bring it down, I did score 6 and no prisoners. I have tallied a few more towards my final tally. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's move over to Tyranids. Turn 3.
Turn 3 for the Tyranids, bagging me 8 because of the extreme being splatted down there. So needs to be quite an aggressive turn to turn this round because Jimmy's momentum is a little bit frightening. So the Swarmlord has advanced, got a 6, which is definitely what I needed to go up close and personal with these guys down here. The Gaunts down here have amassed, look at that beautiful orange wave against the Immortals. Now technically holding that objective because I've got more obsecking units. The Tranifex has moved up with potential threats down here. The Warriors have moved out of cover purely to save themselves from the Destroyers down there. And that's that. So I'll get the dice ready for the Psychic phase to see what I'm going to do. And then we'll be right back.
Death Spitters now firing into the Satan.
3's to hit. Not ideal. 5's to wound. Just the 1?
4 up save. Nope, fail. He's on 4 wounds remaining.
Is it 2 damage? No.
Death Spitters. No, they're still damage 1. They've got the same profile as a Heavy Bolter apart from that.
Fair enough.
Stinger Salvos here went over to yonder, killing 1. Now the Flamers going into there. You've already rolled. You got
11 hits on the Satan, so 5 to wound.
not a single one, sir.
I can't believe that, man.
The Satan lives!
The dice gods have failed me once again with the shooting. Just needed a 5. That's all I needed, guys. That's all I needed. The Electropulse off there went into the tank, doing nothing there. So, charging really needs to happen, and it needs to happen fast. The Gaunts are going to charge the Satan. The Swarmlord, because I can get to a position around about here where it won't intervene. I'm going to double tap the Swarmlord and the Overlord. The Gaunts down here are going to go into the Immortals, and that is that. So I will roll off camera because they're all quite easy to achieve, especially with my rerolls, and we'll get into that really crucial turn 3 combat.
Swarmlord attacks now. I believe 6 are going into the Immortals and 3 are going into the Lord. So
we'll start with the Immortals first.
Yeah.
So it's 2s and then 2s because he's strength 10 because of the Behemoth. Right, so 2s. Brilliant. Right, and then 2s. Yep, so 2 dead, so you're needing your reanimations, please.
Lost both of them.
Brilliant. So it's 2 to my tally though, so something. Okay, right, let's not do this again, Jimmy. Let's just be friends and lose. 2s to hit. Good start, brilliant. And strength 10 against toughness 5, so 2s to wound.
Start with flat 3 in it.
I will burn a CP, so put me down to 1. So it's 3, just to make sure he's dead. No, I didn't need to, but...
Didn't need to. Thanks for wasting your CP, lad.
Sorry.
Woo! Woo!
Back to 4 points for assassination, though.
It does.
So that's something.
That is something.
We'll do the gaunts off camera because I can't kill him.
Yeah.
I can knock him down, and then
we'll do that gaunts off camera. We'll just do the rest of it off camera. I think
we'll leave these just because I can probably pop, and we'll probably do the lictor, but we'll see.
Okay.
Because that's got 2 wounds. It's likely to probably explode and do something amazing, and we'll miss it all for you lovely folks at home.
So the gaunts attacked, only causing 3 wounds. I rolled 2 inbuns, and then I had to reroll 1, and he's still on 4 wounds, which is very good. As you know, they're slaughtered. 2 wounds gone.
Yeah, it's just.
And now just this one here. So, sir, 12 attacks hitting on.
Freeze rerolling. Okay. And then it is.
4.
Get to reroll 1 naturally because of my tail. Doesn't matter.
Is that 3, 4,
5 ups.
Yep. No inbun now. He is gone. Does he explode? He does not. No. It's the other things that explode on 4s. Goodbye, sweet vehicle.
So, no wounds on Swarmlord and no wounds dealt down here on the lictor. This Satan is really, really grinding my gears. The amount of whiffing I've done on him, he's definitely leveled up this game, which is good to see, to be fair, because normally he does like 1 combat, gets blown to bits. But anyway, moving on. So, go for it.
Hitting on 2s. Wounding on 2s. Killing on 2s, actually.
Yes.
2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Oh, there's 1 remaining.
1 remaining. That's still enough to keep that Satan in combat. For now.
Takes you off that objective, though. Unless you back him up.
Yeah, I'll have a think. So he's either going to stay in combat or he's going to
deny me primary.
Yeah. We'll see. I'll work it out, see what I've got and all that good stuff. Right, and then I'll be back in my After some thinking, I've decided to keep him in combat. My logic is, yeah, he's going to score. He's holding this objective now because of the Immortals bossing the combat. But it just slows the Satan down from moving. He's going to be able to get into combat with the Swarmlord. That's inevitable unless he rolls a double 1. But keeping his momentum down is probably going to bag me more points because I scored 8 for the primary. I scored 4 behind enemy lines. That's not going to change anytime soon, so I'm going to be racking them points up. Assassination, I got 4 as well. So my lead is definitely still there. Would possibly be game, set, and match if I've done the damage and killed these units in the centre. But the whiffing of the acid spray, the bad combat, it's really given Jimmy an opening for some points back. So Necrons are definitely still in the game. So are the Tyranids. Let's get on to turn 4.
Righto, turn 4 has begun. As you can see, he has fled combat. There's no point staying there. I didn't realise how good lictors were strength-wise and that. I still thought they had a 5-up armor save and all that good stuff. So, left him behind. Kept these guys here for now, but that does score me the primary within there. It's going to be a fun Satan phase soon. Over here... Satan phase, baby. Here we go. We have finally done the machinery, and this guy, Kyle, reminded us that detonation is in effect. So I could put down a couple of explosion markers, hopefully. So we will see. We will see. Right, moving on to my Satan phase. Satan phase now, and we have a Gaze of Death going into the Swarmlord. So on a 4-up, that's not too bad. And then 2d6 mortal wounds for 4, which puts you down to 6, wherever the 6 is. And then Cosmic Fire, so on the Gaunt. Oh, no! No! Damn it! And then on the Swarmlord. No.
No.
I'll burn 1 CP now for another chance to see what I do.
Yep.
Here we go. It's a 5. Let's see what a 5
Ooh. He got Seismic Assault, which basically means he picks a squad, any 6s are mortal wounds. So he's not going to do the Gaunt. The Gaunt, he's going to heroically fight him in combat. But he's going to put it onto this big squad down here. He's just within 18 inch, so good stuff for Mr. Satan to do more mortal wound goodness.
So 6s here are mortal wounds. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. No. So 4 mortal wounds on that squad.
Okay, good stuff.
So when it comes to my shooting phase now, nothing, because these guys here are done an action. They is doing an action. This guy over here shot into the lictor, did nothing. That guy has fled. Yeah, nothing. Shooting phase done. Let's move to the combat phase. Attack's done here now. 6 wounds caused, so need a whole lot of 6s. It's not a bad effort, but sadly, they are wiped. To save precious time, the Gaunt was killed, and I consolidated into the Swarmlord because they were 3 inches away. That's about it, really, sir.
Yeah, just to mention, just on top of that, because I've been doing the Synaptic Imperatives with my turn because it's really benefited then, or whenever it comes up. This one is the Hive Tyrant's Relentless Ferocity, so I can charge after falling back. So as much as he's gone into combat with him, it makes no odds in this effect. But I wanted to make sure you guys know, because you would be like, why is he doing that and stuff like that. But yeah, that's just wanted to clarify that.
Yep, so I have 12 for the primary, 4 for Ancient Machineries, nothing on Bring It Down, and only 3 to my... Oh, no, hang on. No, I forgot to add the 5 from over here. For the No Prisoners. And that's about it. Moving over to Tyranids, turn 4.
Turn 4 for the Tyranids. Yeah, so what's happened is he's moved out of combat, but he can still charge. It's kind of important, so I can do some shooting on him and potentially smite, but let's not get carried away. The Prime has moved over here, so he's got a cheeky 7 normally to get in, but +2 to the charge with his Warlord trait, so it's 5 rerollable into there. The Lictor has just moved into cover, so that he's a bit more secure and I can keep bagging myself behind enemy lines. The Tranafex has moved around to hopefully do some acid spray this time around. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, okay, I don't know where that screaming's from. But that is that. So the Warriors have scuttled around again, just holding objective 4, but still been able to shoot the Satan. So we'll just get straight on with the psychic phase now, just cause smite into the Satan for a 10, D3 for 2. So he's down to 4 wounds remaining. I'll do unstoppable on... No, you know what? No, because I don't want any mortal wounds on him or anything. I don't need it. It's not going to change anything this turn. So I will leave it there. I'll be back in the shooting. Shooting is... We just did off camera, guys, just to really kind of speed things up and get into that juicy combat that would possibly be worth watching. The Electro Pulses destroyed the final warrior down here, bagging me 1 additional notch to my No Prisoners. The Death Spitters and the Acid Spray finally did the deed, and he's down to 1 wound, so hopefully combat will ultimately finish him off. So what we'll do is the Swarmlord's going to go into Satan, and then I'm going to do Trygon Prime into this Doomsday. I'll roll on camera now, guys. So he's, well, let's face it, he's in. Prime, needing a 7, but then I get +2 to the charge. So 5 plus the 2 is the 7 I am needing. So
I might as well Overwatch. Why not? Why not, eh? Yeah. Why not? Why not? Big gun first.
I don't know what you're getting.
2 shots, lad. 2 shots. Hitting on 6s. 1 hit. And 1 wound. Goes straight through your armour. D6 damage, lad. For 1 whole damage, I'll give that a reroll. I can't. I've run out of
So he's on 6 wounds. Do you do your...
I'll do the ghost off camera.
Okay. Just 1 wound off the Trygon Prime, putting Jimmy to 0 CP, and I'm still on 4, weirdly. But hey ho. So, I'll pass you over to Mr. Jimmy, and we'll do the end of Satan? Question mark?
Will the Satan survive? Let's have a look.
All hit.
Strength 7. 3.
3s.
Toughness 7, not strength 7.
4.
No! Oh, watch this now. I'll pass 3 and fail 1, and I'll be like, damn it!
You've literally said it! Oh, does he explode?
He does on a 4+.
Like Sauron. Oh.
Yeah. 12 attacks now, going in. Hitting on them 3s.
Rerolling. Alright, force to wound. Because of quantum shielding. That is 6, but I get to reroll 1. That is 7 5-ups.
Good night, sweet prince! Yep, he will be dead because I'm sure he's got less than 8 wounds left.
Yeah, he's got 8, so he's on the mark.
Oh, and then he does not explode. Oh dear, I have 2 units left on the board. I think we might call it there, ladies and gentlemen. We will tally up final scores.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Satan was the powerhouse.
Yeah.
As you've all seen, and obviously even I noticed that. Clearing him out now, you've got some pot shots with the destroyers. You can't do extermination protocols, you haven't got enough CP. So yeah, you could potentially do some damage, but with what I've got left and behind enemy lines, I could just sit pretty and you're going to really struggle. So yeah, what we'll do is we'll just tally all the points and we'll come back in the recap, I guess.
Yeah, see you in the recap. So there we go. That is it. Necron concede, but let's have a look at the points and if it had carried on. So I scored 68 in total and you scored 81. So you'd have won it either way, basically. So that's another reason why I pretty much brought it to an end. There was no point wasting your time, wasting our time, and all that other good stuff.
And yeah, by turn 4, might have been more into it if that Gorn did die. You might have got some more points for grind them down. Bring it down. But as you can see with the points, I still had a massive chunk of a lead, you know. So realistically, I had enough to deal with Satan if he did kill him. You know, with obviously the Trygon Prime with re-rolling, I've got the acid spray, etc. with like overwatching as well. But that's Satan, man. Wow, if there's a man of the match, if you want to call them men, he certainly got it from me. Mortal wounds everywhere. He sliced and diced anything he touched. He literally leveled up. And rightly so, because he can be a beast. I understand why people don't bring him, because it's a risk. We've had a lot of games, you guys probably seen a lot of the videos, and he's done nothing. Well, not enough to warrant the 300 point mark on him. But because of the points decrease with the Necrons now, and you've got so much more for your money. Like that, luckily, yeah, I rolled really well for first turn shooting, but you had such a wave of threat that I had to deal with that initially first, and he's like, hello, and then you like slice and dice. You know, when the first night edition, you know, Necrons did come out, he was so expensive and you had so little on the board, you could just pop him off because you had a bit more variant. Let's face it, Nids are still very, very, very good. You know, the rules haven't really been nerfed, it's just the point hike realistically. Some of the mortal wound shenanigans, which wasn't a part of this game. Behemoth isn't probably as good as Leviathan as a competitive side, but I really like the fact that a lot of the stuff had strength 7 and it's strength 8 when you charged, which does massively change things. You know, some of the tanks you win on 4s rather than 5s, and you're killing Marines on 2s rather than 3s, and no Marines in this. But yeah, I certainly like it. There's one of the stratagems, their specific one, it's kind of like the sort of project mortal wounds when they die and stuff like that. And they're a bit more of an aggressive combat thing, and combat is definitely more my forte, which I like. So with the nids we've got, I think it worked really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
But I definitely think the Crons buff or buffs.
Yeah, I feel like the Crons being buffed helped him stay around for a lot longer and allowed to have a bit more on the board. As you can still see, a pretty sparse Hive Fleet can still deal with quite a chunky horde quite comfortably. So, yeah, to be honest, I think the balance sheet has kind of worked in this instance.
Yeah.
It does feel a little bit more balanced. I didn't feel out of the game like you would normally, not until right towards the very end. And that's probably because I had a Satan Shard and he is 320 points. So, but yeah, overall, pretty decent game.
Yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed it, because me and Jimmy certainly did. I really, really enjoyed it. Granted, yeah, I won. Obviously, it's always a cherry on the top of the cake. But like Jimmy said, because of the balancing and the sort of drip feeding CP, it really did kind of keep it going. You know, you've got the Overwatch you can drop in turn 5 and it might be really critical, or you might have that stratagem that you reroll on your hits or something stupid, or you regenerating some of the wounds. It's first game I've ever done with it, but I kind of like the change. Maybe because it's a bit of a refreshment, a bit of like a jigging up, and I kind of see why GW have kind of done that. Tempest of War, we still obviously really like, and it's a completely different style again, because obviously Warlord traits and your relics still
Technically free.
Yeah. So we're probably not totally sure, but we'll probably still keep doing it the way we're meant to be doing it, so that we've got two varieties. Keeps us entertained, hopefully keeps you guys entertained as well. But no, good game. I really liked it. It was fun using nids for the first time in 9th. They're always a favourite of mine because of your beautiful paint job. A bit of an ego trip for you there.
I will say, I didn't mind the Nephilim thing. It was take it or leave it, either have the 12, blow them all, or get the 6 and slowly build. I didn't think much to it, personally. I can see how it's worked. A few more games, I think I'll be decided if I like it or if I don't.
Yeah.
I will say, though, if anybody from Games Workshop is watching this, the Warlord trait for your character and Relic should be free. That's my only one. The first one, characters shouldn't get access to 2 Warlord traits. We've used that plenty of times. Everybody else has used it plenty of times. It should be 1 Warlord trait in the entire army, maybe 1 Relic in the army, and they can be free. I think that'd be fine, because if at the 6 CP, in fact, you finished on 4 CP and you started with 4 CP, whereas I started on 6 and ended with 1. So, I definitely burnt through mine.
But then, other armies that you look at, or have been looking at, for potential new battle reports, I'm like, but there's so much good stuff going on. Like, what Necron, the data, the balancing has really helped him, and the points drop has obviously definitely helped him. But the core stratagems are really specific. You know, they're so to the point where and they're very situational on top of that. So they're like a lot of the new 9th edition books. You find that it's a bit of a generic, like all core or all ultramarine or whatever it would be, where they can have there's a massive scope. You had a Toonblade stratagem which is about advancing, and your guns can be shot. Like, maybe you didn't want to do it, you wanted to go in combat, or you wanted to do different things, and it's so situational. That's the only thing Necrons struggle with. I think the stratagems aren't really there.
So if somebody from Games Workshop is watching, improve the Necron stratagems.
Yeah. But it's a good start. I felt like it was pretty much back and forth until probably turn 4, where it did sort of go to the mid side. But no, really, really fun game. Just a little one from me, and obviously Jimmy.
Chaos are coming.
Chaos are definitely coming. So if you've watched it this far, you'll obviously know that in a few weeks, once I've got them all up and running, they will be dropping, and we're gonna look. That's how new it is. I've literally not even opened it. And I've got some crazy ideas with a lot of the war bands. Who's gonna mix and match in them, so it's gonna be variety that you guys love so much. So yeah.
It's going to be a custom theme as well, so that we can use any of the chapters and all that good stuff, including Abaddon. They're just rusty Black Legion.
Yeah, it's kind of... we kind of went off the contrast of the Golden Boys. You know, we use them as a generic Space Marine thing. These are like dirty and gritty and not very nice.
Have spent 10,000 years in the warp.
Yeah, they've not had a bath basically. So yeah, keep your eyes open for them. They'll be definitely dropping soon. Hopefully with some spicy lists to fight with them.
Aye. So, with that being said, we are off. There is a subscribe button down below. If you've made it this far, please consider subscribing. It helps the channel out massively. And there is a super thanks, and you can donate and all that other good stuff. So again, if you've been entertained, chuck a couple of quid our way. It helps pay for things like this. So, as you know, expensive hobby. And any savings that we can get on it would be vastly improved, because it does go back into the channel. So guys, thanks for watching. See you again soon. Goodbye.
Bye.
I have reflipped this over because, well, for a start off, yeah, that's right, that's how vain he is, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's get back to the battle report.
I've got a nice tan for my holidays.
Fucking nice tan, man.
That's why I'm wearing one. Yeah.